Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a surprisingly simple, honestly kind of brilliant strategy for conquering those totally mundane chores that just drain our energy. We're pulling insights from a fascinating text that breaks down the friction between human behavior and everyday productivity. Let's kick things off with a question I know we've all asked ourselves at some point. Why on earth does a simple task like, say, folding a pile of laundry or just doing the dishes feel like you're trying to move a literal mountain? You know the exact feeling I'm talking about, right? You get home after a long day and suddenly emptying the dishwasher looks like this insurmountable obstacle that requires superhuman strength. Well, there's actually a name for this. It's called the perennial struggle, and it's basically this inescapable part of the human experience. It's that deep, lifelong tension where our desire for a tidy, organized life is in this constant, almost epic battle with our very natural desire to just be comfortable and rest. It's the ultimate tug of war between who we are right now in the present moment and who we desperately want to be. So let's dive into part one, meeting your inner trickster. To really understand why we avoid that laundry like the plague, we have to look at the internal war happening inside your head. On one side, you've got your rational decision maker. You know, the part of you that wants a clean kitchen, plans ahead, and wants to be a responsible, productive adult. But on the other side, that's your instant gratification monkey. This little trickster prefers comfort, avoids effort at absolutely all costs, and is highly distracting, constantly trying to lure you away with the promise of immediate relaxation, or, let's be honest, just scrolling on your phone for another hour. And the real issue here is the sheer weight of the problem. I want you to picture the number 800. That represents your unconscious mind. Basically, our unconscious is an 800-pound gorilla. And your conscious mind, that well-meaning, responsible, rational decision maker, yeah, it's just along for the ride, sitting on the gorilla's shoulders. So the crucial takeaway here is that you can make all the grand, sweeping commitments to clean the house you want, but absolutely nothing changes until that 800-pound gorilla says so. It goes exactly where it wants to go. And usually, it wants to go sit right back on the couch. Which brings us to our next point, the willpower myth. Now, you might be thinking, okay, I just need to grit my teeth and force myself to work, right? But relying on sheer brute force willpower against your inner trickster usually backfires completely. In fact, people recommend willpower like it's a magic pill. But as the author points out, this simplistic way of thinking isn't just limiting, it's actively damaging. It completely ignores human nature, and honestly, it almost always triggers even more avoidance. Look, a certain level of discomfort is obviously part of getting things done, but your trickster side, it will always fight tooth and nail to protect your comfort. If the resistance feels too high, that 800-pound gorilla is just going to plant its feet and refuse to budge, leaving you totally frozen in a state of procrastination. And let's not forget the guilt that comes with it. So, how do we fix this? Let's get into the climax of this explainer, the turn it up strategy. After testing all kinds of crazy, complex focus techniques and overly complicated productivity systems, the author actually just went old school. They created a curated playlist of their absolute favorite, highest energy songs to simply drown out the mental resistance. As they put it, when I write, do chores, or work out, I play these songs and turn it up. And here is the absolute core of the strategy. Instead of arguing with the monkey or trying to wrestle an 800-pound gorilla, which, let's face it, you're going to lose, you bypass them entirely. Step 1, put on that playlist of your favorite high-energy music. Step 2, turn up the volume, blast it. Step 3, just let that external energy shock your system into action. You literally use the music to drown out that internal voice that's begging you to sit back down. But wait, there's a catch. We also need to master the micro-commitment. To make absolutely sure that the gorilla doesn't fight back once the music starts, you have to pair that awesome audio with a task that is just stupidly small. The goal is not to tackle the whole messy house. That's just going to wake up your inner panic. Instead, you commit to washing exactly one dish while your favorite song plays, or cleaning just one tiny corner of a room. Or, if you're dreading taking a full shower, just commit to washing your face. These tasks need to be so ridiculously small that they seem kind of silly. And because they seem silly, they completely bypass that unconscious dread or fear you'd normally feel. Seriously, 1% always beats 0%. Little wins pave the way for bigger wins. By lowering the bar basically to the floor, you slip right past the inner trickster's defenses. It's genius, really. The real magic of this method is realizing that action actually inspires effort, not the other way around. Once that music is blasting and you've washed that single solitary dish, the mental friction just vanishes. Momentum takes over automatically and effortlessly carries you through the rest of the chore. And hey, you're always free to add bonus reps once you've started, and you almost always will, because the hardest part was literally just getting started. So the next time you find yourself paralyzed staring at a pile of laundry or a sink full of dirty dishes, just stop fighting yourself. Find that stupidly small first step, but more importantly, what is the exact song you are going to blast right now to spark your momentum?